Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Here we are again. Let's just get right into it. We got so much to talk about, you guys. Where do we begin? The one and only Miss Sarah Fraser.
Hi, David. Love you. Love Behind the Velvet Rope fans. The Sarah Fraser Show fans love you. They're loving our recaps. And, nobody has more dish than you because you literally speak to every housewife, past, present. I mean, they're gardeners, their ex-boyfriends, anyone that sniffed their ass, you have spoken to them.
I love a disgruntled employee. Nothing is better than a disgruntled. Do you know that for a while I was hot on the trail? I mean, I put out like an APB on I wanted Kardashian drivers, dry cleaners, hair, makeup. I don't mean Mario. I mean all the people in the beginning before the Kardashians were Kardashians. I put out an all eight. Let me tell you something.
Did you get a lot of responses?
Let me tell you something, as my friend Kim D says. When you enter that Calabasas, when you enter that Kris Jenner house, I think before the gates even part ways, I think someone comes out and hands you on a gold platter an NDA and you sign it. And then after you sign it, you have to sign another one to get to the front door. And then I think when the front door closed, I think you have to sign like 5 NDAs before you get even to step foot in the entryway of Miss Jenner's house.
You do. I know this because I know personally someone who has interned for them. And it's ironclad. It's multiple things that you sign. And of course, as an intern, you're kind of kept away from, a lot of the, you're doing like, you're folding t-shirts, you're doing real basic stuff. You're getting coffee. You might be, you're working maybe with Chris's assistant, but I do know very firsthand from a reliable source, you sign a lot of things to the point, I think, like what you're saying, nobody is going to, you're going to get sued. If you violate that, you are going to get sued.
No one wants. The closest I've gotten was Black China, who is involved in a lawsuit with them, but she brought it, you were allowed top line questions. What do you think of Kim and Kanye? What do you think of Kim and Pete? What do you think of Chloe Money taking back Tristan every time he cheats? You were like, when China's people were like, that's what you want to ask, it was like, okay, you're allowed. I'm like, of course I want to ask like that. That's what people care about. But when I wanted to get into details, of course, with the lawsuit, they were like, shame, shame, shame. No, no, no. Don't ruin China's life. She's coming for some bucks.
She needs RHOP. She needs that Kardashian. I don't blame her. She should get some.
I am not complaining. The phone rang and I picked it up and it was Blac Chyna. I did not ask for her. I did not seek her out. David. I literally was like, this is not real. I would love to interview Blac Chyna. Again, I'm putting out an all APB here to all these listeners. Anyone 12 to 95 steps removed from the Kardashians, I would like to speak to, but make it real. Let's not have like fake DMs here, guys.
And yeah. I'm putting out an APB for 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days or before the engagement. There's a couple, Jasmine and Gino is from Canton, Michigan, not far from where my husband grew up. And he apparently is a sugar daddy and he was supporting all these women's lifestyles. And I wanted, if you were a sugar babe of Gino's, I want to speak to you. That's where you're going like top of the top. I'm like, Gino, this weirdo on 90 Day Fiance, anyone his sugar babe, I need to speak to you because who is getting sugar from him?
I don't know if like the ex-colorist that did like Courtney's hair when she was 15 is like exactly the top of the top, but call me.
Look, there's so much to get. I mean, where do you want to start? You're so good at directing this. I mean, there are so many things to talk about per usual.
This is where I want to start because we've been doing so many housewives. You have recently discovered the joy, or maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, maybe you hate it. That is one of Bravo's shows that went from horrible to like not good to like fucking epic, Summer House.
I am a new watcher to Summer House. I have 1,000 questions for you on Summer House.
Season.
I started this season. And David, am I getting this right? Is Summer House basically, is it basically Real World, but with less depth? Is that really what it is?
I mean, if you put it like that, kind of. I mean, I think we have some differences. You know, they leave the house and they go to, they didn't during COVID last season, but you know, they go home to New York City, like they live their lives. And then, yes, they are all sharing a Hamptons house, which, let's face it, is not paid for by them. It is paid for by the powers that be at Bravo. Now that the show is doing better, you know, it's had moments. The house is bigger. We've seen it's the second change of a house. And, you know, it's interesting. It's your first season because you don't know who's a newbie, who are the OGs, like you don't mess with, they ain't going nowhere off. Like, you don't know who the Ramonas are, the Kyle Richards of Summer House. But I mean, look, it is rooted in real world. Sure. It's a house and they all live there and they are, but you know, the difference, these are not boys and girls in their 20s. These are people in their 30s. And in Kyle's case, 40s. These people are in their 30s and 40s. These are not
with
children.
the Real World. We were getting people that were like 22, 23, like we were getting them much younger.
I think 18 to 25 was the official age of the Real World. I don't think you could, or maybe 28, you couldn't be on it if you were over a certain age.
Okay. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I jumped right in. And I have a million questions for you. Why are people obsessed with Kyle and Amanda? I actually don't find them that fascinating.
You mean the fact that they're engaged and may not get married?
Like their fights are really superficial. I mean, you know, I know he signed a contract with her parents. If they don't get married, like he has to pay them already. Seems like a recipe for divorce within 5 years. I just find them to be not that fascinating, honestly. I don't know. I mean, she kind of is at him all the time to the point of like, I could see why he would want to cheat. I know he cheated on her and it seems like a drunken mistake, which look, I mean, sucks. I think we've all either been cheated on or been the cheater. It's awful. Like it's terrible either way. I mean, you know, but they're hammered. They're on reality TV. They're good looking. Like, I don't know. And like, is she like really a fan favorite? Do people love her? She seems whiny to me and I can't figure it out.
Here's the thing. First of all, Kyle is an OG. So Kyle has been there from the beginning. So let's just put that out there.
People love Kyle. Okay.
I love Kyle. Like the guy that I would most, and Kyle and Amanda have been on this very show here behind the Velvet Rope. The guy that I would sleep with the most out of them all would be Kyle. If I was just basing it on looks, and Andrea would be a very close second.
Okay. All right.
I'm just gonna put that out there, guys. Never turn down a blonde, Sarah. Never turn down a blonde. Just here's words of wisdom.
Kyle is 40. Okay, born in 82, so he's 40. Okay.
So Kyle was like an OG